What is up, team? Welcome to another episode of the True Fitness Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Adrian Conway. Today is one of the segments where I am answering a series of questions that have been submitted to the comment section below on the YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, Adrian Conway. And I would encourage you, if you're watching this, even if you're listening to it via Spotify or the Apple Podcast stream or whatever it is, find us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, please, as I'm trying to grow it and going to create more content that lives there in perpetuity for sure to bring value to your life. Please comment something below or ask a question that you would like to hear me talk about or answer for you, being in your fitness journey, being in personal development, or even from a business perspective, a lot like this question is. But this question today came from Kappa Warrior 77. And it was, should I open a CrossFit affiliate in such? Like, I was summarizing this question, but it's asking me, I'd love to hear your opinion on opening CrossFit affiliate. What are the pros, cons, and business practices? I had once been a partner in a CrossFit affiliate. I have managed 2 different affiliates as the head trainer, head program designer, and all the things. I stepped out of that role in order to start a supplement company in 2017 that my wife and I and a team that we invested in was done from 2017 all the way through 2022, actually. And so all that considered, I'm back full-time coaching now, and I'm back in the grind. I say that to highlight my there and back again journey with the CrossFit community. I was always involved in CrossFit. I always was involved with seminar staff in some way, shape, or form, commentating at the space like the CrossFit Games Rogue Invitational, the CrossFit Games podcast. So I love CrossFit and I love the space. The first thing that I want to lead with here in regards to should I open a CrossFit affiliate is, do you love people? Question mark. And if you don't love people, you shouldn't own a CrossFit gym. I further that by saying, do you love people and do you love business? Question mark. Because if you first don't love people, don't open the gym. If you don't love people and you don't love business, or you're not willing to learn to love business, don't open a CrossFit gym. Far too many gyms exist out of hobby or passion and not to be professional. You see, because if you really love people, you will love them so much to become a professional in the realm that you wish to serve them. Stay with me here, because there's a lot of you that are like, oh, Adrian, you lost me. I don't really love business. Well, then if you don't love business and can't learn to love the aspects of good business practice, and I would far beyond argue great business practice is a small business, because you'll need these in order to be successful, then you don't really love the people that much. And it's more of a selfish pursuit for you, because we are in the business, and a CrossFit owner is in the business of life change, okay? The ironic thing with life change is, and yes, that's your job. Your job isn't to show people some movements and help them have fun training. Your job is to introduce people to a way of life, constantly varied, functional movements executed at high intensity. What do? We eat meats and veggies, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch and no sugar, in adequate amounts to support exercise and not body fat, right? That's a whole thing. If you're not doing all that, you're not teaching CrossFit. If you're just doing the movement thing and having people have fun and all that, it's the best hour of their day. Yes, all those things are true. But you've got to be a leader, and you've got to be a leader in such a way that manufactures life change for these people. That's why they're going to pay to come there. You can't administer life change for people unless they know how much you love them, unless they know how much you care about them, because you're going to have some hard conversations with people. To me, if you're a good leader, you're going to be invested in their lives. You're going to be like, hey, John, how's it going? Hey, I know you said that your daughter hurt her ankle. Is she doing okay? Hey, I know that you said you lost your dog, Vicky. How's that on your family? How are your kids dealing with that? Hey, Jeff, I know your mom was in the hospital. How's that going? If you want to create a community and a culture, you've got to really care about people and humans. That's a huge part of it. Now, this love for business can be built because of your love for humans. If you really love those people, the Vicky, the Johns, the Jeffs that I just listed off and whimsical examples, then you will have a spark in order to run your business like a business, a good business, to help keep an environment for them. to help keep an environment for them through years where they will bring their friends and their family, and their friends and their family will bring their friends and their family. And then their friend, and when you create a real culture that's steeped with life change and genuine relationships, I'm gonna tell you right now, the movements and the nutrition and all that stuff, that's gonna get them results. But it's everything else that's gonna keep them coming. Then you got to get down to the nitty-gritty and say, well, how clean are my books on the back end? Well, do you want to run a profitable business? Because guess what I'm going to tell you, and all this is going to keep coming back full circle, so stay with me, please. If you want to run a profitable business, guess what that's going to take from you? Commitment. Commitment of what? Commitment of time, commitment of patience, commitment of effort, commitment of tears, commitment of anger, commitment of forgiveness, all these things that are really hard. Time being one of the biggest requirements and demands and sacrifices. So if you're not running, if you love people and then you learn to love business, but you're not running a good business, all that time that you're sacrificing away from your family, some of the early morning moments, some of the late night moments that you spend at the gym, some of the holidays that you're going to open your doors for people because when they're not at work, guess where they want to be with you and at your gym? Some of the spring break trips you're not going to be able to take, some of the summer trips you're not going to be able to take. You have to be rewarded financially for that. And guess what? If you don't love to love business, learn to love business, invest in your time, get business coaches, get business mentorship, you will not have that. And then guess what you will do? Those people that you were passionate about, loved, and served for so many years, there's going to be a trade-off. You're going to be trading off the love that you have for the people in your home or the life that you want to pursue for the people you're losing your life for at your gym. And that's not fair to you nor your family. That's my first talk. Pros and cons. A lot of what I just covered. You will be steeped in relationships. Cons is that you will be steeped in relationships. Humans have many faults, more faults than they do beauty. And so if you're not the forgiving type, if you're not the graceful type, if you don't have a firm spiritual background, not just a spiritual background, but a firm and mature spiritual background, man, that's going to be hard for you, in my personal opinion. And so you're going to be challenged in many ways. You will have great family if you do this well. It won't just be friendships, it will be family. As ugly as family can be, as beautiful as family can be. Business practices that you have to have a mentor, in my opinion. If you're opening the doors of a CrossFit affiliate in today's world, you need to invest in mentorship. You need to invest in knowledge. And I would go from within inside the CrossFit methodology. First and foremost, level 1, level 2, of course, it's a no-brainer. That's what you got to have to open the doors of a gym now. I would encourage you, as if you're going to be the head coach or the programmer, or you're even the main face of this franchise here, this your affiliate, I would be studying and preparing for your level 3. If you don't have a degree in exercise science and human performance, I would continue to invest in your own knowledge, because here's where fruits are from everything that we offer as CrossFit knowledge is we can get you some nutrition, a basis for nutrition. We get you a basis for understanding the methodology. We get you a basis for human movement. Basis. You need to have thorough understanding of anatomy. You need to have thorough understanding of connective tissue and tendons and ligaments and their responsibilities and how they respond to tension, how they respond to tempos, right? Because the understanding of this on top of the foundation for understanding CrossFit of methodology will set your affiliate and your clients apart from other people. It's how I've made a living. I make a living because I coach and program constantly varied functional movements, execute at high intensity better than anybody else. And that's the way I feel about myself. And if you don't feel that way about yourself and you're offering coaching as a service, then you better be chasing it headlong. Because if you love we're back to this conversation again. If you love those people that you said you wanted to have the gym for, the company for, then that's the way you would be investing in yourself, because you dictate their journey. You're teaching them the autonomy of movement and when to take a rest day and how to eat at home and how to manage their family and that's your responsibility. And if you're not ready to have that responsibility and you don't think you're one of the best in the world to do it, you're not doing it. You're pretending to do it. Stop pretending to do it. And if this discourages you or intimidates you, Kappa Warrior at all, don't open an affiliate. Because I want to be a part of a community of affiliates that are continuing to level up and knocking down the pretenders and knocking away the pretenders. And I think good gyms and affiliates should come in and buy out the smaller ones and keep flourish them with life with good coaches, steep them in an atmosphere of people that are willing to serve and educate and inspire and do it as a profession, not a part-time job. This is no shot at any coach that does coaching part-time. But if you're the one running the gym, if you're the face of the franchise, if you are that thing, if you oversee these part-time coaches, boy, you've got a large plate and you got to make sure you got someone helping you to get there because it's not easy. So consider that. You need to have, of course, very much forethought in how you want to strategically open. What I mean by that is that right now, you could probably go get yourself a real fat daddy loan if you got good credit history and you got some money in the bank. Doesn't mean you should. You want a gym with all the echo bikes and all the rowers and all the stuff and all the fanciness. Don't do it. Start smaller than you can on purpose. On purpose, be like, look, here's what I'm going to do. Man, I can go get 70 grand. I'm going to open my doors with 40. I'm going to open my doors with 30. Why would I encourage you to do that? Is because I want you to be pushed and I want you to learn how to manage groups of people. I want your coaches to be able to manage groups of people with 5 rowers and maybe 5 bikes. Like that's pretty amazing if you can open your doors with stuff like that. And barbells and dumbbells in regards to creating enough variance and variety so that then you can program around that, learn to do so with minimal equipment, learn to manage smaller groups, learn to serve people, learn to correct movement, learn to scale people who are 70 years old when your class is only 6 people deep, so that when they are 15 people deep, these people don't get lost in the margins. And learn to do it so that you can teach a coach how to do it. Because if you want your gym to scale and you want it to grow, you better pack the doors, pack the house, find a new facility. Have the growing pains of learning, like, wow, I want a bigger gym. I want a bigger community. But do you? Or do you just want more steady income for your coaches and for the service that you already offer? Because then you got to think about how you want to open your doors. Yes, you want CrossFit and group classes to be the primary focus and driver of your business, but where should you make a lot of money? One-to-one coaching. That's how you're going to continue to refine your own personal development, make sure that you have some money in your pocket for your family, and also be able to make it a career for other young trainers that want to come into your space and be a part of what you've created. They've got to be able to go classes, individual or small group, classes, individual or small group, classes, specialty class at a smaller rate for more price, right? And I'm not here to encourage you to steal from your community or make them pay you more, but you have to have a business mindset. And what we've seen, tried and true, the group coaching model is amazing. Greg himself wasn't scaling it that way at his own facility. Man, he had small groups all the time. He had one-to-one clients all the time. He used those classes as means to introduce a lot of people into the methodology, or to a place for people that went from being his one-to-one clients for 2 years into a class type atmosphere, right? But you've got to think in that direction and you've got to make a lot of considerations. I know this was an end. Again, I'm trying to keep these under 10 minutes. Here we are at 13 minutes. I hope that this answers some questions. I hope that it creates some pause, but I also hope that it motivates and inspires people listening to this who may want to open a CrossFit affiliate, because there is much responsibility on you. There is much onus on you. It's not something that you can do part-time, in my opinion, when you're the owner or the overseer. Now, if you got business partners and people are splitting roles, sure, there are ways to do that. I don't know that that's always best either. I certainly ran into some obstacles when I did that with a team of people. It's hard to keep people on the same path. And honestly, people change over time and their goals and desires. Or for me, it's like I start to see what happens when the rubber meets the road and the return isn't what they thought it was as fast as they thought it was. Well, are you going to stay the course? Because I'm going to stay the course and I'm going to run this out. I just recorded a video, about how do you trust the process where you never quit. You never quit. You can pivot, but you never quit. And so this is part of it. You're certainly going to have a process and a mentor that creates a process that you can trust when you own an affiliate. So this goes back to my other video. If you didn't get an opportunity to watch that other video about how do you trust the process, please go back and watch that. Certainly drop a comment or a like button if you think it drives you some quality information. But I'm going to wrap with this. A lot of responsibility, a lot of onus on a CrossFit gym owner. Make sure that you have your ducks in order. Make sure you understand what you're really trying to do. First and foremost, that if you don't love human beings, if you don't love people, if you don't want to be a changer of lives, if you don't find yourself that you are a leader in such a way that you can do that, and you're not willing to lead by first through serving, it ain't going to work out and it's not going to go well. It will be too stressful in your life. it will be there will be a fast. You'll meet the point of diminished returns very quickly. And if you can't love people enough to eventually love a business, it's not going to last for those people. And that will be unfortunate because they'll have to go find somewhere else to fulfill that role. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning into another episode. This is just another Q&A. I'm going to be going through a list of them, so keep your eyes tuned for what's next. If you have a comment about this particular topic or you think I'm way off, please disagree with me below. And make sure that if you don't like this video, double click that like button so we can get a good thumbs down there. And then also, if you have more questions, it could be about affiliate ownership. It could be about coaching a class. It could be about giving feedback to coaches. It could be about anything in your own personal fitness journey as well. Nutrition or training or all the sorts. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to do this. And keep rising. Talk soon.